Hi folks, how are y'all doing today? My name is David Gugino. Over here. Hi, how are y'all doing today? My name is David Gugino, and in today's book review, I have a very good book, which actually has another swear word in it. But I'm actually going to a bar later tonight, just the reason the nice long sleeve shirt. Now it is a little late at night, it's about 9:30 at night, but I wanted to knock out one of these before I go out and have some fun this evening. So today's book review is a very different book. I think I said that about the last one, but this book was recommended by a buddy of mine at the gym. And he mentioned that when he read this book, it changed completely the way he viewed stress, the way he viewed depression, and just the way he viewed his life. So, a good example is when you are depressed and when you are like feeling alone or you want to make friends, just talk and be around. And she is actually read by a girl, which when I tell you the title of this book, it's going to be crazy. It's going to sound crazy if this book is written by a girl, but she mentioned wherever you go in life, or not wherever you go in life, but whoever you talk to and wherever you're at, just flirt your ass off is what she says. As in, just talk to anybody, have fun with anybody, make jokes with whoever, just do that all the time. Now, the reason she mentions that is because honestly, you don't want to find like specific people to talk to throughout your entire life, because you're going to be surrounded by tons and tons and tons of more people you do not want to talk to. So that was something that's said in this book. There's more. I got my bookmarks right here to mark what I want to tell you all, but the rest of it, the name of this book is You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero. Yes, her last name is Jen, and her last name is Sincero. Jen Sincero. And she wrote this book, You Are a Badass. So now, this book, we're going to dive into it here, but it says at the bottom, how to stop doubting your greatness and start living an awesome life. Now, when it comes to starting to live an awesome life, you have to get through the doubt of yourself. And that's what she lays on very thick in this book about working on really believing your limited beliefs or being dependent on your limited beliefs and your doubts to tell you where you're going to go in life or how bad your life is starting out. Because to be honest, wherever you're at in life right now, you are there for a reason. I've mentioned that multiple times in these videos. And honestly, you have to be grateful and thankful that you're there. But the reason why I say that is because things could probably be a whole lot worse. And for those that are watching this video, if you have a terrible, terrible life right now, or have had a terrible life, it's not over. There's more to come of your life. And something you're going to get out of it, and something in your life right now that you have gone through is going to be for a reason. But whoever is watching this video is going through tons of stuff. I'm keeping the world and the people who are watching this in my prayers, and just keep moving on because you matter. So now we're going to dive into the book, but I'm being serious about that though. You do matter. If you're watching this right now, you do matter in life. You really do. So now I'm going to dive into the book here. It is You Are a Badass. Now let's see what Ms. Jen Sincero has to say in You Are a Badass. Most people are living in an illusion based on someone else's beliefs. Until they wake up, which is what this book will hopefully help you do, here's how it works. We as humans have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. Most of us are only aware of our conscious minds. However, because that's where we process all our information. Judge, obsess, analyze, criticize, worry that our ears are too big, decide once and for all to stop eating fried food, graphs that 2 + 2 = 4, try to remember where the hell we left our car keys. The conscious mind is like a relentless overachiever, incessantly spinning around from thought to thought, stopping only when we sleep, and then starting up again. The second we open our eyes, our conscious mind, otherwise known as our frontal lobe, doesn't fully develop until sometime around puberty. Our subconscious mind, on the other hand, is the non-analytical part of our brain that's fully developed the moment we arrive here on Earth. It's all about feelings and instincts and erupting into ear-piercing temper tantrums in the middle of supermarkets. It's also where we store all the early outside information we get. The subconscious mind believes everything because it has no filter. It doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's not true. If our parents tell us that nobody in our family knows how to make money, we believe them. So think about that. That was a bit of a paragraph that I just read, but if the subconscious mind believes everything, not it, the subconscious mind believes everything because it has no filter. It doesn't know the difference between what's true and what's not true. If our parents tell us that nobody in our family knows how to make money, we believe them. And honest, that's how our minds work. There's a movie called Catch Me If You Can where this guy named Frank Abagnale, played by Leonardo DiCaprio, pretended he was a nurse, pretended he was a doctor, pretended he was a pilot, and pretended he was a lawyer, stole $4 million forging fake checks, and managed to travel to all 50 states and 15 different countries, I believe, all done before his 19th birthday. Now, what he did was wrong, but not only is that so amazing and crazy, but how his life started off at like 15 was he ran away from home and thought it was one really true thing that made him want to do this, and that was this true quote: people believe what you tell them. And to be honest, that's what he lived out through this. Now, he doesn't do that now, and this was years ago. This was in like the 70s, years ago, but to be honest, that is so true. People believe what you tell them. And that's what he lived by, and it worked. It didn't really pay off because it was wrong, and he went to prison, but it paid off. So, and also $4 million. That's crazy. But anyway, diving back in here. So the subconscious mind, our subconscious mind on the other hand, is a non-analytical part of our brain that's fully developed the moment we arrive here on Earth. It's all about feelings and instincts interrupting into ear-piercing temper tantrums in the middle of supermarkets. It's also where we store all the early outside information we get. Notice that for a second. It's where we store all the outside information. It's where we store what we hear, how we get to places. Like when you're driving to work and you've driven there for years, you could drive to work not thinking about everything you want to think about and get there and not knowing how you got there. Because your subconscious mind took you there. So think about that for a second. That is how it works. And the conscious mind is like a relentless overachiever, incessantly spinning around from thought to thought, stopping only when we sleep, then starting up again the second we open our eyes. The conscious mind, otherwise known as our frontal lobe, doesn't fully develop until sometime around puberty. So think about that. So the reason why that paragraph is so important is because if we look through here, most people are living in an illusion based on someone else's beliefs. And through the way our minds are made, our conscious and subconscious, we believe everything people say about us. We believe everything that motivational speakers about us. We believe just everything we see, and what we think about most is what we believe. Most is what we believe. So crazy, and why the mind is very important is because your mind tells you things and will tell you things that you cannot do, and your mind will give you all these crazy examples of certain things you've gone through in life, certain things people have said to you, to really make you doubt yourself and not pursue your dreams in life. Now, she didn't mention that, but this is what she was talking about when it came to the brain. So, most people are living in an illusion based on someone else's beliefs. Do not base your life on someone else's beliefs. Do not do it. It is unhealthy, and you will be miserable if you do that. So now moving on to the next thing in this book. This is love the one you is. I don't know why she worded it like that. Love the one you is as the actual name of the chapter. But listen to what she says about love the one you is. Listen. The more emotion you feel around what you're saying, the more power you have to bring about positive change. It's about being proactive, about creating a life you love instead of meekly living the one you think you're stuck with. Give yourself the gift of a joyous life while you're still among the living. You aren't a selfish person for taking care of yourself, just a happier one. Just a happier one. Listen to that. You aren't a selfish person for taking care of yourself. Just a happier one. So when people say that like fitness models are selfish or bodybuilders are selfish, it is true. Bodybuilding is a very selfish sport, but if you really think about it, to be the best, you have to be selfish. Like, you have to be. Like, aside from training and eating, there should be something on that list that says you have to be selfish. So, for example, after I'm done here, I'm going to go to a bar to meet up with a friend. I could easily be selfish and be like, I'm going to film more of these, I'm going to stay up later and edit, and I could, and that would be great. Now, this friend I don't see every weekend, I see him like every few months, because he has his own schedule and I have mine. But I could be selfish and stay here, but also you have to socialize. You have to socialize, you have to have fun, you have to be aware of your surroundings, you have to do it. Whether you like it or not, you have to do it. So, it is about being proactive, about creating a life you love instead of meekly living the one you think you're stuck with. Give yourself the gift of a joyous life while you're still among the living. Now next, the more emotion you feel around what you're saying, the more power it will have to bring about positive change. So think about that. The more emotion you feel around what you're saying, the more power it will have to bring about positive change. So honestly, if you are feeling happy and really pay attention to your positive thoughts and you being optimistic towards a situation, there's going to be a positive change in your life. The more emotion you feel around what you're saying, the more power it will have to bring about positive change. So think about that for a second. So when you are feeling happier, or when you are looking at a situation that is positive, you need to focus on that all the time. It's like going to work at 6 in the morning. You get to get up early and your day gets to be done early, or at least I hope it does. Then when you're in work, you're awake. It's different because you're around people going in the same environment. And that's the thing I've noticed about factory jobs I've worked. Everyone knows it's crappy work. Everyone knows it all starts early. And everyone knows it's tiring. It is a very tiring job. And they're all tired. They're all cranky and ready to go home towards the end of the day. But they all know and they all tell each other, yep, it's hard work, but we do it to make a living and we do it for the family we have at home. And that is how you live. I don't want to say a different word. Them being optimistic like that is what fuels them to come to work, but not only that, puts them in a better mood about being at work. So that is what that is. Now, the next and final point that I have, my bookmark fell out, but let's see if I can remember where it was. Here it is. Now, listen to what this has to say about love yourself, is what this is in the same chapter, but it is just a section that says love yourself. So the third and final section of this book that I have here is the love yourself section. Sometimes it's easier for other people to see what we can't see ourselves. So if they can help us connect with our truths and live happier, more authentic lives, then it's worth taking the time to listen. It still ultimately comes down to what's true for you. However, so the more connected to your inner truth you are, the easier it will be to use outside opinions to your advantage, rather than let them rule your life. Getting clear about what your unique purpose is can be the difference between living a happy, fulfilled life of abundance, choice, and expansiveness, or living in the restrictive veil pen of your own indecision and tired old excuses. So, the same goes for compliments. If people constantly tell you you're a good listener, ask yourself, is this compliment true for me? Can I use this information to better myself and the lives of others? Again, the answer is yes. Figure out how you can capitalize on it. If the answer is no, let it go. So what she's saying right there in these two pages, if you notice, I went to this page and then that page, I don't know how I did that. But she mentioned that she's telling about using compliments and things that people tell you that you believe are true, to use them to capitalize on them, use them for your life, and to help other people. And that's a very badass thing to do. So she used the example of being a good listener. You ever talk to people or have talked to people and then you tell them all this information about you and they don't remember any of it? They might remember details, which is fine, but they don't remember anything they talked to you about, or they're looking off to the side like this while they're talking to you, or I've noticed that's how people talk nowadays. They're off to the side, or they're looking in the distance while they're talking to you. Eye contact, ladies and gentlemen. Eye contact. But they don't remember anything that you told them about yourself. They don't remember what you had to drink, what you had to eat when you met them, or they don't remember the last time they talked to you, or, worst of all, they don't even remember your name. Now, I understand people are bad with names, but just a simple like, hey, you were at this place. That's why I mentioned the food you ate or the place you met. If they don't remember anything about you, they weren't listening or even there at all mentally, but you were giving your time to talk to that person. So, the moral of the story is when people give you compliments like, hey, you're working harder in the gym, you're looking big, use it to your advantage to work harder and to be bigger. But do not let it rule your life, as in do not be prideful about it, do not be cocky, and most of all, do not let the insults rule over your life. People get made fun of and people get picked on every day. You are not the only one. There are other jerks out there, and the jerks that make fun of you probably have nothing going on in their lives. I say nothing. They probably do, but they do not value certain things that you do, and they are just people you do not want to associate yourself with. They don't want to associate themselves with you, and you do not want to associate yourself with them. So that is honestly how you handle a jerk. You just don't talk to them and you don't be around them. If you work with them, that's different, but when you work with them, you tolerate them. Because there could be something going on at home as to why they're a jerk. They could be having a string of bad days, or that is just who they are. But jerks are also pretty unhappy and pretty angry about their lives, usually. But overall, I hope you all enjoyed the book review, and the takeaway for this video is you are a badass. You matter, and you are a badass. When whatever's going on in your life, be a badass about it. And honestly, the other takeaway of this video is when someone compliments you on a skill or a talent that you have, take it and run. Be better at that skill. Use it for other people. Use it to maybe make yourself money someday, but use it to impact other people's lives and use it to help other people. So this was a very good book. This was also a book I read about 2 or 3 years ago. So the things I read to you were new to me, but the things that I read took me like where I'm at in life right now. Like that's how I view jerks, people who are mean, people who talk down about my goals. That is how I view them now because I read this book. And you have to believe in yourself. You can't be based on someone else's limited beliefs. You can't live your life that way. It is a no-no. I know I mentioned that a lot in this book, but if you notice when I say that and when I bring up certain things I've repeated in this book, is because they are fundamentals of life. As in, that is how everyone got better in life. They got better at their job, better at their career, better at their goals, better at talking to people, better at believing in things they didn't believe they'd be able to do. So all the things that I mentioned twice or more in this book, because they're in the book, I'm not just saying it, they are in the book, and the different books by different authors that I've read. They are all saying those same things, because it is a fundamental of life that you have to do these things. You have to believe in yourself. You can't compare your life to other people. Financially, you can't spend more money than you make. You have to talk to people. You have to socialize and get uncomfortable. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. All the people that have wrote these books and all the people you probably watch to motivate you throughout the day, actors, athletes, business people, entrepreneurs, they all have gone through the same stuff in these books and have used it to their advantage to be successful in their life. So I know that was a lot, but thank you all for watching. Try to read You Are a Badass. It's a great book. I want to thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or feel free to give me a book that you want me to review and want me to break down, and even try to let me find something or my opinion of something in a book that you recommend for me to review. Thank you all for watching, and you all have a wonderful day.